Hello friends and welcome back to Enterprise Architecture. Now last time we got started on getting our storage all set up here. So you can see all those storage network link cables behind us. We also unlocked aluminum finally. So we've started our aluminum production. Now today we need to radically ramp up our aluminum production. So we are going to set up a whole bunch of miners and hopefully by the end of the episode have a little bit of auto crafting set up for our level 3 research, that blue research, which we really need to upgrade the rest of our connections, our power lines, our item conduits, and especially our fluid pipes for those lovely steam burners that we set up. So without further ado, let's dive in. So as we learned last episode, blue research is very expensive for us. It requires a lot of ingredients that we do not have any automation for, but most notably, it uses a lot of aluminum. Just look at all of these ingredients that we need for a single aluminum widget. We need 4 aluminum structured arms, 4 aluminum wire, and 1 aluminum gear. And those structural arms also require a whole bunch of ingredients. They require 6 aluminum scaffolding, and each of those require, 3 aluminum ingots and 3 aluminum rods. Now, this is a whole lot of crafting, which we can mostly do with auto workbenches, but it's going to be a mess to get all of those ingredients, and we're going to have to handcraft a bit of it. Now, to get all of that aluminum, we're not getting very much right now from our existing miner setup that we did last episode. I've only got like 50 right now, all said and done. That's not enough for us. So what we're going to do first is set up a whole bunch of miners. Now, I went around getting our drill components. I picked up all the burner drills that we had set up previously. Again, this mod pack aims to be like Factorio, so burner drills and regular drills are how we're getting these ingredients. And I've got a bunch of solar panel Mark IIIs made. So 40 should be enough to run 4 drills that are electric drills more or less full-time during the day. At night, well, we're out of luck. We're just gonna have to sleep often. But that should get us over the hump of having enough drills. And I really want to set up 4, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Now, to do that, we're going to need to make a bunch more drills. So I have all of these drill components, and with those drill components and some more machine frames, I will be able to make our burner drills. So we're going to be making all of these drill components, like so. And actually that might be more than enough. 27 drill components. So that's 3 drills. And 36 drill components there. That's 4 drills. That's exactly how many drills we want to make. Now the next thing we're going to need is our fancy drill head. And those are made with fluxed electrum. Now I made a little bit of fluxed electrum already, but first we're going to need to make up a couple of more steel drill heads. So that means time to go grab my extra blocks of steel I've been cooking here. Got some steel here, got some steel here. I hope that's enough for what we're doing. And we're going to make a couple of blocks of steel with that. Okay, 17 to start. So we need 2 more steel drill heads. Let's see here. Can we do this recipe? No, because we need to make 1 more iron gear. We're just going to do that the old-fashioned way rather than waiting for that to cook. Okay, now we've got 4 steel drill heads. Now we can use each of these to make our fluxed electrum drill head. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 fluxed electrum drill heads. Okay. And that should be just about everything that we need to get started. Let's go set this up. So one of the problems with getting aluminum is finding a chunk that has primarily just aluminum so that all of your mining time is spent getting aluminum and not all of the other ingredients, iron, copper, whatnot. That was the problem with the first miner that we set up in the last episode. Now, today I have found us a great series of 4 chunks, each of which is only gold and aluminum. Now, it's not a lot of gold and aluminum, but all of them have just gold and just aluminum, and it's primarily aluminum. So I've put down these 4 blocks defining the corners of each chunk that has those ingredients. So what we're going to do is use this location to set up our miners. And I'm going to try and be somewhat smart about this so that the miners are all coming together into a single output location. And using that output location, we're going to put some storage drawers down, and then everything will get mined into those storage drawers. At least that is the plan. In reality, I'm not sure that it's going to work out as nicely as I just said, but I have hope that this will work. So our first miner will go there. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of room, and our output point that we want for all of these is going to be this spot right here. So all of them are just going to be off this little corner, kind of like a pinwheel. So we're going to put another 3 down here, like that. It's going to make the next drill. So we'll do it this way. And we'll put 1 drill here, like so. And we'll put 1 drill here on this side. I think that'll work fine. There's our 4 drills set up. Now we take an empty hand and we tell it to output here and here, here and here. Now, those should all be inserting into these 2 locations. We're going to put down a double chest, and that means all of these should go into this chest one way or another. Now, once those are going into the chest, we grab our handy dandy item conduit and we pipe our items out the top, and we're going to put those into our basic drawers. So we're going to grab our drawer key and we're going to lock these drawers. And I think I can put the other one over here, and that's going to be fine. I just want to rotate that 1 turn so I can see what's coming out of it. There we go. Okay, so these will be locked, and one of them is going to give us aluminum, and one of them is going to have gold in it. So we tell this to extract all the time, round robin enabled and self-feed enabled, and it should still be filtered. And then we only insert on green, and we just need to make sure that that's set up on the upside as well. Insert on green. Okay, great. Now that should be all of our various drills set up. Now the only thing that's left is to supply power to each of these drills, and for that we're going to need to give each of them 10 solar panels each. So that means basically covering the top with a 3x3 patch of solar panels and then 1 extra. So this plus this. And each of those should have that pattern, and that should work to give it enough power. Now, if they connect on a side, it's not going to work. And it's not going to work for us because that means that one of these is going to be sharing the output instead of splitting the output. At least I think that's how it calculates. So we really want all 10 of them going only onto 1 drill. So like so, and like so. On that edge will do. And then this one, same thing. We just need to give it a little bit of a gap so it's not stealing power from the others. And on this side, we'll do again. Okay, perfect. So those are our drills laid down. Now, the only thing that's missing from this is we have to give them drill heads. So we'll take this one and we're going to give it our Flux Electrum drill head. And we repeat that process for all 4 of these drills. So this one gets 1 and you get 1 as well. Okay, so all of these are going to slowly start producing our ingredients. And what we should see in this chest as a result is aluminum showing up. That's exactly what we want. And with any luck, we will also get gold. And there we go. We're getting our gold in now. So we take a little bit of gold out and we use that to tell our other drawer that it should only accept gold. Now, we don't expect to get anything else out of this, just those 2, but this just gives us a really easy way to see how much we have and what's in there. All right, so we're going to gather up the spoils of our aluminum and take it back to base. So we're going to go ahead and drop this into our auto pulverize and smelt setup that we had done here. So we're getting between 4 to 6 ingots per original ore. because of the way that we have the flux anodizers in here and we are pulverizing first, which sometimes produces an extra secondary ingredient. So that gives us a lot to work with. Now we're going to snatch up the extra here real quick, and we're going to go dump this inside of our other redstone furnace setup because we're producing through pulverizing a lot more than that single furnace can actually deal with. So we probably need like a 2-to-1 ratio here on pulverizers to furnaces, but we don't have that set up yet. So while that is all cooking down, we're going to start making up our auto workbenches, which are the next thing that we're going to use to automate all of these things. Now, let's take a look real quick at how many ingredients we are going to need to do all of that crafting. So the recipe here is for an aluminum widget. So this is one to make this actual widget. Now we're going to use metal presses for the gear and the wire. So that's 2 metal presses. The structured arm, this is going to require yet another crafter. So that's 2 crafters. The scaffolding is easy enough to make. If I can find the basic recipe, there we go. So that's a 3rd crafter, and then the rods themselves are going to use a 4th crafter. So we're going to need 2 metal presses and 4 auto workbenches all day. Or at least for right now. I shouldn't say all day. It's a restaurant habit of saying that. Okay, so let's make 1. And it looks like we need more crafting tables. So we're going to need 3 of these. There we go. 4 auto workbenches. Now, the next thing to get started on is our metal presses. And for that, I still like to use the capsules. It's the easiest way to know what ingredients you have and what ingredients you need. So right here you can see we're going to need a bunch of things. 4 pistons, 4 heavy engineering blocks, 8 conveyor belts, 8 steel scaffolding, and 4 redstone engineering blocks. Okay, so I'm over at our new base area where I've been setting up all of our automated factories, and here is where we're going to do our aluminum processing. This will be the first tier towards our research, and I think our other blue research will go into a building over here next to our other buildings that we're using for making the green and red research. So to that end, so we're going to start with the chain that we need to get to our scaffolding first. So let's go ahead and take a look at that recipe again real quick, just to make sure we've got it in mind. So aluminum widgets is what we want. And the main piece of the aluminum widget is this structural arm. So we want to make sure that we have that recipe in mind. So we're going to assume that coming in, we have a source of aluminum. So we've already got a bunch of aluminum ingots that I brought with me. And we're just going to cut a hole right here in the wall. We're going to put this chest in like this. And into this chest, we are going to stick a bunch of our aluminum ingots. And we're going to use our various auto workbenches to connect all of this up. Now, we are going to take this in tiers. So these are going to flow out depending on which ingredients are being used. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit of space because we're going to run the cables probably down this way. And the first row that we're going to want to do here is going to be for our aluminum rods. I think that's the first piece of the puzzle. Now, let's go ahead and grab our item cables out of the satchel. Where did those go? Oh, we already have them out. Even easier. And we're going to run this just like this. So this first one, we're going to teach it the recipe. We're going to grab a couple of ingots here, just like that, for making our rods. And we're going to fill up the rest of these with dirt, per usual. And now it knows how to make aluminum rods. Now, the aluminum rods we are also going to output from the same place that we are inputting. And those are going to go into our next row. There we go. So that means we just teach it. And again, we want to put the dirt in first because otherwise these slots won't be saved. And I think we have to free up 2 slots here for it. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. And so that will start making our aluminum scaffolding. So let's go ahead and make one of those. or one set of those, I should say. It's going to give us 6. Perfect. And then we're going to come over one more unit here and put down the next workbench. And this one is going to take our aluminum scaffolding. Whoop, no, don't want to do that yet. Gotta put the dirt in first, per usual. There we go. And now it's, I think this pattern gives us our arms, structural arms. Perfect. So if we drop this in here, one set of scaffolding should make that arm. And there we go. Now we have 4 structural arms. And that's everything that we need for this half of the widget. Now, I am going to make sure that I can grow in this direction because I'm going to want to do multiples of these. So we're just going to put these down like this. And we're going to tell it to not connect on these sides. Not at all. We want everything to go in and out through the top, like so. Now, this first one should be only using aluminum ingots. And those are coming out here from the green extraction point. Now, our second recipe uses both aluminum ingots and rods. So we also want these to insert on green, but they're putting out scaffolding, so we're going to make that brown. That's going to be the second one in our chain. Our third one we want to insert on brown only, and we're going to extract this one on blue. So all of the results of this are going to be blue, and all of our final ingredients that are going to make into our aluminum widget, all of those are also going to be blue. So that will make it consistent. So since this second one is on green input, it'll take from both of these, both the box with the iron ingots and also the iron rods. Excuse me, aluminum ingots and aluminum rods. So let's tell that we want to both insert on green and extract on green, always active, round robin, and self-feed enabled. So that should, as soon as I turn this on, make rods, but we don't do that yet because we want to make sure that this also is getting made. So extract, round robin, self-feed, always active, and insert green. So, and just for a temporary setup, we're going to make one more storage container. We're going to put this down right here, and we're going to tell this it is inserting blue. Okay, great. And this should never extract from here. Brown, green to brown. Okay, all of this is working. So let's go ahead and turn this on. And we should immediately start seeing, yes, aluminum rods are being made. This is getting aluminum ingots, which will then start making our scaffolding. Scaffolding then should go in here for aluminum structural arms. And then at the end of the day, this should have all of our structural arms coming out. All right, so it's getting its first rods. Scaffolding is being pulled out. It's going into here. Great. Structural arms are being made. Wonderful. And there we go. Now they're being filled in here. We're going to go ahead and lock this chest. And that should be good to go. Now, we don't want to use up all of our ingots on here, so let's turn this off for right now. The second piece of this is our 2 presses that we want to make. One for our wire, one for our gears. So to do that, we're going to need to run more cables. So let's run our item conduits back across to the other side. Maybe right about here. I think that's good. And we're going to run our presses down this way. So we need 1, 2, 3 spots. And then some sort of a storage item. And then our cables will come back out. Okay, so we made ourselves some storage real quick, just some basic storage drawers here. This is going to be where the things are being output. And we are going to go ahead and put in our limiters in here, our storage downgrades. Perfect. Now, the first row here is going to get a metal press. And we're going to go ahead and put that in place here. I think that's the right way. No, that is not the right way. That's the right way. Perfect. Okay, so this is also going to insert on green. Oh, now we have run into a limitation. Let's fix this real quick. So we're creating a second run here between this. So we're not extracting at all from our rod production, because then we don't have a secondary ingredient going in on green. We're going to go ahead and instead set this extraction to a channel that we haven't used yet. We're going to say purple in this case. And then we're going to set this to round robin, enable always active. And then we're going to have this insert on purple. Whoops, went right by it. There we go. And so now the rods should get stuck in here instead, which is where we want them. Okay, so now that will deconflict. And now we know that green is always just going to give us, no matter what we do, only our ingots out of this system. Okay, so now all I have to do is whack this with a hammer, and that gives us our press. And I think what we'll do is we will make our wire first. Now, our energy conduit, of course, is going to run up from the top of this to an undisclosed location, which, spoiler alert, is going to be off of the power supply here that we've already got. Perfect. So now our press is wired up. This should insert the right item into this box, and that should give us our wire. Now, let's just come over, let's say 1, 2, 3 here, and do the same thing, whoop, and fall down to our doom. And we're going to put down our second press right here. So let's go ahead and grab this, and we'll put it there like that. Grab our wrench, turn it back into a hammer, and whack it. Okay, and now this gets our gear press, like so. This is going to insert green again. Did I set this to right to insert green? I did. And then we just need to make sure this gets power, so we're just going to pull it off of this power line here. Great. And turn it back to our wrench. And this output, we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did with that output. Now, the last piece of this puzzle is to connect those up into a final series of auto workbenches. And actually, we can kind of go back down this way with it if we want. I don't think there'll be any harm with that. So we're going to set this here. We're going to go back to inserting on blue off this, because I think I can get rid of this whole container at some point. And you know what? This we probably want to storage lock as well. So give me a stack out of that. And let's go ahead and make one more storage downgrade. We don't want to just create an infinite amount of aluminum structured arms, because we're not going to use those. Wonderful. We're going to put that in here. Top it up with the 64 that we've got. We're going to run this pipe this way, and we're just not going to turn these on yet. And we'll run this pipe this way, and again, not going to turn these on yet. Just like that. Okay, so this will be bringing in our various ingredients from these two chests. Now, all we have to do is set this back to extract. And these should start getting, yes, ingredients. That's what we like to see. So let's take a look one more time at that recipe. We need 4 aluminum wire. Do I have 4 yet? Yes, I do. Did I already lock these? Let's lock these. We don't want anything weird happening. So 1 more aluminum wire, and I think we just need the 1 gear. And then we can go and teach this recipe to this thing. So we want the aluminum structural arm. We're only going to give it 3 possible slots to put items into. So again, we use our dirt. I think this should be the right way to do it. Like this, and like this. Is that right? Yeah, and there it has saved exactly the number of slots that we want. And then all we want to do is output our items off of it. And we're going to extract on yet another color that we have never used before, just to make sure that nothing weird happens if things get crossed. We're going to use cyan. This I'm going to leave at green for now. And that just needs to go into a storage door, and we're just going to make a temporary storage door for this. So we're just going to put it right here in the middle for now. We're not going to worry about it. Okay, and we will not lock that yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these items back in here. We're going to put these items back in here. And let's first turn on our scaffolding output. So this should insert on green. And let's go ahead and, oh, we got to make sure that this is inserting on cyan as well. There we go. Insert on cyan, round robin, self feed, always active. Great. This is on green. Let's go ahead and make this blue again, just because we don't want any weirdnesses. Hate weirdnesses, always active, and insert on blue. I'm always going to click one time, too many. There we go, insert on blue. Okay, so there, we're already getting structural arms in here, and we can top this up with our extras that we have lying around. So it's going to get one stack of structural arms. And now if we come over here and we tell this to extract on green, I think that's still going to be fine. Round robin, self-enabled, always active. That's going to start pulling from green there. Same thing here, enabled, always active. It's going to start pulling green there, and then just tell it to insert on green here, and it's going to start filling up with the ingredients that it has access to. Perfect. And while we've been doing that, we have 348 aluminum. That is a lot of aluminum to start on, and that should be, as I mentioned before, 4 times as much once we put it through all of our various machines. So let's get started with pulverizing this. And then we are going to move on from pulverization to actually cooking it. Okay, so after I smelted down a lot, but not even all of our aluminum, we're already at 1800 and rising. So we're going to take a whole bunch of stacks of aluminum. It's about a little less than half, and jump back over to our new facility here. Now, we're just going to load this up into our inventory, about 700 of them. And this should, yes, immediately start processing all of our various ingredients. There we go. Okay, looking good. We'll just let this do its thing for a little while. Okay, so while that's all processing, we need to make ourselves a whole mess of fluxed electrum. And for that, we need a whole mess of electrum. So we have a little bit of gold, I think, stored up at this point. How much gold do we have? Oh, yeah, we've got plenty of gold. So let's get 2 stacks of gold and 2 stacks of silver. Now, this alloy kiln, I still have not quite automated to the fullest extent possible. Okay, so if I grab a stack of red and a stack of green, can I unlock this? I sure can. Now we have an alloy furnace. Now, what does it take to make the alloy furnace? Let's see, alloy furnace. Basic plating, that's easy enough to make. Copper solenoid, yeah, we can make this real quick, no problem. So let's zip back to base. And where is our remote? Did I lose our remote? No, there it is, okay. We want to make an alloy furnace. So for that, first things first, some basic plating. Coal and lead. Wonderful. And then I think I have everything. There we go. Should we make 2 of these while we're at it? I think we have just about everything we need to make multiples. Yeah, 2 is great. And it looks like we completed another quest somewhere in here. Not sure where in here. Automated alloying, is that it? Yeah, that's what I completed. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and connect this up somewhere. Okay, so let's put these alloy smelters over here next to our other furnaces, like so. And then we're just going to add our pipes to that, and it should connect up to the rest of our network. These are all on extract green, right? Extract green and enable. Perfect. And now, if we take half a stack of silver and gold, that should do the thing. Yeah, that seems to totally be working slowly but surely. And we're going to go ahead and turn this into our new type of electrum. So put it in here with our fluid transposer. And we're going to need more redstone than this, I think. But there's our fluxed electrum. Yeah, because it's 2 to 1, right? 5,000, 4,800. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more redstone. Let's grab another stack. And now we have plenty of redstone as well, thanks to our forward thinking. All right, we're going to let that do its thing for a little while. Okay, so while the electrum is fluxing, we are going to work on the last ingredient on our list here. So the other thing that we need is a bunch of redstone engineering blocks. Now, let's see how many of these things that we're going to need just to start. I know that we have a bunch of things that we want to do, but the blockers for us right now are transfer. So we definitely need the high pressure tubes. So for that we need 24. This is going to improve our situation with our boiler and steam power. So 24 to start. We're going to need another 16 for our MV cables because moving that power around is a bottleneck for us. So that brings us up to 40. And then after that, we're going to need an MV energy conduit because this is going to give us our main throughput. And that's going to be 5,000 RF per tick, plenty for what we are doing right now. So 40 plus 32 is 72 for today. So we need 72 redstone engineering blocks, and we only have 16 right now. So we're going to want to make a lot more. Oh, looks like we have 2 left over. So 72 is what we're going for. It's a good thing we had so many ingredients that we'd put in our storage in the previous episode. So that's 70 and 2. Okay, great. How are we looking on fluxed electrum? We're halfway there almost. So we'll be getting there soon. And then all we have to do is wait on that last ingredient, our, what do they call them? These aluminum widgets. So once we have those, we can go on an unlocking spree. So we're going to hang out and be back in a second. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients now tucked away in our satchel. All of our redstone engineering blocks, all of our fluxed electrum, and all of our aluminum widgets. Now we need a place to do our research. So I think we're going to build a new facility right next to our old research facility. Something like this sort of a place. Yeah, I think that'll do nicely. Perfect. There is our researcher. And we've got 4 of these that I've made. And I think this might be a little tight, but I think we can make it work. There we go. And last one, put this down here. Okay, here are all of our researchers. Now, last time I did this, it said that these blocks were in the wrong place, but it looks like it's doing the right thing this time. Researcher, yeah, it's okay. It seems to be doing just fine with those. Now, we have to wire all of this up. We have 3 different inputs on these machines, so we need to hook all of this up properly. And by properly, I mean every single one of these inputs should take a different item. So, in order here, we're going to want to do, let's say the first one's going to be green. We're going to leave that as is. Okay. The second one, or do the second color, which is brown, and we do not extract from here. And then the third one, blue. And then we just repeat that pattern over and over. So, green, brown, blue. Okay, so each of these 3 inputs on a researcher will get a different type of block that way. Now it's just a question of pulling out the blocks in the right way. So to that end, we need to make a little bit more storage here. Do I have any storage drawers left? I only have a 1x2, and that's not what I need. So let's go ahead and take our chests. We need 3 of these. Grab some wood. Actually, we need more wood, so let's go ahead and grab a bunch more planks. Perfect. 3 of these. Surround it with wood, and we're going to make 3 basic drawers, like so. Grab our lock and key. And I think I'm going to put them in this wall here, just for safekeeping, because I'm going to probably route things down this way. So, take out 3 pieces of wall block, and put in 3 drawers. We're going to lock those up nicely. And now each of them gets an ingredient. So we're going to do our aluminum in this. We're going to do our fluxed electrum in the second one and our redstone engineering blocks in the third. Now, here comes the tricky part. The first item we want to extract on green, round robin, self-feed enabled, but we're not going to make it active yet. The second one, we're going to want to disconnect from here. Where's our magic tool? No extraction there. This one instead is going to extract on brown, round robin self-feed. And the last one, we don't want to connect here again, is extracting on blue, round robin self-feed. Now, we should be able to make each of these active in turn. And that should start bringing in our ingredients into our researchers. Perfect. Now all we have to do is wire up our researchers, and then we're going to deal with our outputs. So let's go ahead and put our power cable down here. And we're going to come this way with it. And we're just going to connect it up back up into this main line here. And then we just keep these going. Perfect. Great. And now we have our blue research laid out. And then eventually we'll move even more room out of this, clear this space out, and purple will come in on that side. Okay, the last thing to do here is to connect up our outputs. That's relatively simple as well. We just lay down all of these cables, set it to extract, and turn them on, just like we always do. There we go. And that should be all of our logistics. Now, we need a place to store all of that research. And I had already made a compacting drawer to put them in, so we're going to use that. We stick it down here just like the others, and just tell it to insert on green. And eventually, these should finish their research job. Not enough energy. Once we give them a little more power, they'll finish their research job. So power once again became the bottleneck here. I tried to run 4 researchers off of this bank of 6 solar panels, the tier 3 ones, and it could not keep up. So we are down to only 2 of these instead, which is somewhat problematic. It also means that we're going to have to go and snatch up all of the various items that are in these researchers and rebalance those just into the first 2, so that we can continue with our construction. Otherwise, we're going to get stuck here. So let's take half of what is left of everything and put it into these other machines. Let's see, and half of that. And then the remainder goes in here. Okay, that should work perfectly in theory. Now, all we have to do is wait. It's going to take a while for this research to complete. It's very, very slow, so we're just going to give it some time to do its thing. Okay, and there we have it, 72 production research. We are ready to roll. So let's get unlocking. Now, starting with our transfer, we're going to get our high pressure pipes, and actually that means we need to go get the rest of our extra ingredients here. So let's Let's pick up some green research, pick up some red research. Okay. High pressure transfer pipes. Oh, we need these? Yeah. This is very obnoxious when they keep changing the game on you as to exactly what you need to unlock each, whether it's the 2 or the 3. It's hard to tell. Okay, so now we have the pressure pipes. Next up, we're going to do MV cables. Great. And then MV energy conduits. Great. And now we have our energy conduits. And I think that's all we can unlock for right now. Well, I think that's a pretty good stopping point. We've got all of these things unlocked, all of these new pipes and conduits that we can use, and next episode, we are gonna work to start upgrading all of our production. So all of our steam production we're gonna increase with that boiler. Maybe we'll make our boiler a lot bigger and see if we can't get enough power to really run that research facility that we have on the other side of the map. We'll also try to finish automating all of our blue research production end to end as best we can. But for now, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends.